Moderna plans to request emergency use authorization for its COVID vaccine in the U.S. and Europe today after final analysis actually shows that the vaccine was 94.1% effective. So does this mean the end of the pandemic is in sight? Here's what Dr. Fauci had to say on Sunday on Meet the Press.
There is light at the end of the tunnel because we will really be seeing vaccines soon. We likely, almost certainly, are going to be vaccinating a portion of the individuals in the first priority before the end of December.
With me now is Dr. Gabe Kellen, Director of Emergency Medicine at Johns Hopkins Medicine in Baltimore. Dr. Kellen, it's good to have you on the show this morning. Thanks for taking the time. The announcement from Moderna feels hopeful. What makes this announcement different from the vaccine updates that we've been seeing throughout the past few weeks, though?
Well, it seems like, first, thank you for having me. It seems like every Monday we wake up and there's a new vaccine announcement in the last 3-4 weeks. And this isn't all that new, although we have further information on the Moderna vaccine that we didn't have before. So their final numbers are in, showing 94% efficacy. And that is absolutely superb number, very similar to Pfizer's 95%. They're applying for emergency use authorization, and it'll be seemingly taken up by the FDA only 1 week after the Pfizer. So the potential allotment that Moderna brings to the table for the U.S. Will follow soon on the heels of the Pfizer one. What more that we know that was at least sketchy, or we didn't know it super well, was this appears to be, the Moderna appears to be effective in patients who are older, greater than age 65, as well as underrepresented minorities, Hispanics, Black people, and even Asians. Again, there were no safety concerns. And one advantage that it might have over the Pfizer product is Pfizer has to be stored at minus 70 Celsius and minus 94 Fahrenheit. That's pretty cold, requires special handling. Whereas the Moderna one, once it's thawed, can be frozen in regular sub-zero temperature. So it's just much easier to handle and transported. One caution that we should have for all of these vaccines, although truly, as you had Dr. Fauci say, there's light at the end of the tunnel, is that when you conduct a trial and you get these stupendous results like 95%, once you start applying them in real life under less controlled situations than a trial might be,
right,
the results might be different. But one other thing to just hold back, and I think you had mentioned this, Moderna adds about 20 million doses.
Yeah.
More or less immediately available for the US. That's only for about 10 million people. Let's add that to the 20 million doses more or less available from Pfizer, also for 10 million people. So by the end of this month, we're expecting shipment across the US of about 40 million doses, sufficient for about 20 million people.
Okay.
That's not a lot, but there's a reasonable chance that a good number of those in the highest priority groups will have access fairly quickly.
Right. Highest priority groups include people with pre-existing conditions and those, of course, on the front lines who really haven't taken a break from caring for us over the last 10 months. Doctor, how does it change the timeline of when the general population could see a vaccine? Or be vaccinated, I should say.
Yeah, in and of itself, this doesn't really change the timeline because this announcement was imminently expected in the last couple of weeks. So all the projections that the general public could probably have access in the early spring and into the summer is probably still correct. Recall also that Moderna and Pfizer aren't the only ones making vaccine. There's several others still in the pipeline that over the next few months will come to light and will be applying for emergency use authorization from the FDA. So probably into the spring and early summer is still what we're looking at.
The biggest stories the moment they happen from around the globe. Subscribe to Bloomberg Quick Take now for insight in an instant.